Soneca here, and I am a personal fashion stylist for those of you who are not sure what I do. And I've worked on shoots, and that's how you and I got to meet a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you realized, I posted that one of the, the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really cool. And so I've kind of gradually been working more with private clientele, some on TV. But I mean, the bottom line is, style, regardless of where you're working, what you're doing, it's all the same. It comes down to the same, right? It comes down to the same thing. And I think, with what's happened now in the world, I think there's just been a real big, wide awakening on how and what fashion's going to be. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
It's kind of scary. To think that some iconic department stores may not be in existence anymore.
Retail in general is going to change so much.
It's going to change big time. It was already changing. I think people were buying clothing online, and people are designers and everyone's trying to become a little bit more sustainable. So I think this is really putting it on the forefront on being sustainable. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And, that's something that I like to try to do as well, is like do a lot of secondhand clothing, purchasing like from like the Real, for example. That's designer stuff. I don't always shop there, but that's just one example. Or like Poshmark.
It's sustainable. Do you know what I mean? So regardless.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
Favorite one of those companies?
Yeah, like a favorite, secondhand or something like that.
Yeah, I like to, I can't say, sometimes I'll find something on eBay. I do like the Real for designer kind of clothing. And I'm kind of like a thrifter too. I love when I'm in, especially, you and I have something also in common where we love to travel. Mm-hmm. And when I travel, I really like to, check out little boutiques, but also like thrift type of stores, because it's crazy how you can find a beautiful, well-made pieces of clothing that you can never find. And if you do find it here, it's going to be worth so expensive. So there's something gratifying to finding that special something, And it has, and then it has meaning to it because you were somewhere and you'll always remember where and when you bought that,
Yeah. You're like, oh, I got this in Capri, or like, something like that. So I think that's a really good thing to remember when we're able to go back to traveling, is to look for special pieces, while we're out and about. And then it's like a souvenir without buying like a magnet or like stuff that doesn't have really as much of a purpose, even though I collect magnets, but whatever. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do too. So I hear you.
So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So what do you see? So if someone's like home right now, going through their closet and they want to get rid of some stuff, either they want to donate it or they want to like upcycle it or turn it into something else, or they want to sell it on a site, or like, what do you recommend for people that want to go through their closet and get rid of stuff?
There's like when I work with clients, I tell them it's a process, okay? And I think you kind of have to be mentally into wanting to do it, because it can be very like time consuming. So you can also, regardless if you have a small closet, you have a big closet, it's a lot. It's crazy how much stuff you can stash in your closet over the years. You know what I mean? So, I always say prioritize some time. And obviously now, we're home. So this is probably the best time to prioritize your closet, even though I know for my end, I have kids at home, so I am doing homeschooling. So that takes a little bit of my time, but take like an hour or two, maybe get a glass of wine, play some fun music, and like maybe just section off, depending upon how big your closet is, and take everything out. I think like just have a clean slate. I think like that's the best way to like, get into everything.
And then you can like see everything that you have. Like, thank you. You can like see everything you have at once.
And I can tell you, I mean, I'm just as guilty as when I see this in my clients' closet. It's like, okay, how many black shirts do we need? Like, why do we constantly shop for the same thing over and over again? And
Oh my
I don't,
gosh.
I think it's because it's a connection. We know it looks good. We feel good in it. But if we can't see it in our closet, we're just going to keep buying it.
Can I tell you,
So
I have a confession.
Uh-huh.
I bought the same shirt twice. And I got it home. My clothes are in color order, and I was like, oh my God, Julie, you literally bought the same shirt twice. It was white with black polka dots. Like, it wasn't even a solid color, like plain t-shirt. It was like the exact same shirt, you guys.
Right.
So
I know.
Yeah, it really does work to take everything out and see what you have.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. So I think like that's like a big start. So that's why I'm saying you have to give yourself, you got to be mentally prepared for this, because you know what, you may be so overwhelmed, you may not want to have to deal with it all at one time. So just then know, like, you're going to have an area, you're going to have a mess, you know, so that then the following day you can tackle it. And then if you know you're going to be doing this, I really think like what will make your closet look uniform, regardless, again, big or small, have the same type of hanger. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, have the same hanger. And I'm really big on those velvet, those thin kind of hangers.
Yep,
you can find
too.
them on Amazon. In fact, I just bought a whole bunch of new hangers because I've had wooden hangers in my closet, which I adore, but they take up too much space.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful, but it's taking up too much space. I have too much clothes, as much as I'm trying to recycle, and you know, and it's all jammed in. And now that I'm in the process of switching over hangers, it just looks so much cleaner.
Yes, it does. Yep. That's a good tip.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you guys, if you have questions, we'll be answering them as we go. I'm kind of scrolling here. I just see a lot of highs.
Yeah, for whatever reason, on my end, I can't see any questions.
Oh, okay. Maybe it just shows up on mine because I started it. But when the questions come through, I will throw them out there. So, okay. So what's next? How do nails and style, we know that they go together.
Definitely.
You know, what's your recommendation if someone's like, I'm a really simple person, like, what do you talk about nail, and not just nails, but like nail, lipstick, hair color, like, because style is head to toe.
I actually am somewhat certified in image consulting, but it's crazy because like if you talk to like a fashion, you know, somebody like in New York City that, you know, hardcore on shoots, like they're like, image consultant, like, you know, you're insulting me. But there really is a theory behind how color works. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And putting everything together. So I'm okay using that word when necessary, because you are consulting and putting an image together, and, you know, recommending, okay, maybe your hair should be worn like this, and why don't you wear this kind of, you know, nail color. I mean, especially for myself, when I know I'm going somewhere, I think of the entire story. So when I'm working with someone who in particular has somewhere nice they want to go to, or even if they're just an entrepreneur and they're working, you know, you should pick out a classic lipstick, perhaps. You know, if you're not really big into nails, do something simple like a clean nude, so that it's not taking over your life, you know?
Yeah, or like red. I love red. Yeah. I love a red lip, and I love a red nail. Yep.
Well, I'm wearing it like,
yeah, it's like a summer red. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think everything it's really important to tie it together in a personal style. And of course, when we're on set, you know, because those photos last forever. But I think it's really important as well for, you know, a person and how it makes them feel and things like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially with today, and I mean now, and I want to talk about this with you with the nails, like with the do it yourself and that kind of thing.
Yeah, let's talk.
Listen, there's so many nail salons out there, and they're all over the country. It doesn't matter where you live, if you're even a small mom and pop town out west. nail salons are everywhere. Women like do care about their nails, definitely.
Yep.
You know, it's just, it makes them feel good. You know what I mean? Just to look down and have a pretty, you know, and get different nail polish every week if you just have a simple plain manicure, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. It's like, it makes such a difference, because how many times do you look at your hands a day? Like hundreds, I think the statistic is. So
Right.
I think
And people also judge you by how your nails look.
yeah.
So it's a big, you know, I think so. I think it's like it tells people, wow, she takes care of herself. I mean, listen, you know, you don't have to be like with the pointy and, you know, all the doodads and stuff like that, because that can also be a turn off as well, depending upon where you're working or, you know, where you're going. But, you know, just keeping a simple manicure, like you said, a nice color, it really shows that you care about how you dress and how you feel.
Yeah. And it's like an attention to detail thing as well. So I think that that's really important to show off as well.
Yeah.
So,
and I know a lot of women sometimes, like, that's the last thing they worry about. And it really, it's hard. I get it, you know, if they have a family, but if they can make it work, it would be great.
Yeah. And, you know, you don't have, like you said, the nails don't have to be crazy. I mean, you don't have to go for nail art and, you know, enhancements and whatever. You can just do a solid, like, red nail, or even if you just do, like, oh, hi from Germany. Someone from Germany is watching us. So you don't even have to go crazy. Even if you just do, like, for example, Essie has a new line called Expressi, and the brush is especially designed to fit, just like hug the nail. It dries super fast, and how much better does that look? And you literally just like prep the nail by a little bit of alcohol, do a base coat, and then the color, and that's it. And I think you don't even need base coat with Expressi, but and like that's it. You're groomed.
Really?
That's so fast, and it dries so fast.
Oh, does it? And it's a smaller brush, are you saying?
So it hugs. It's a little bit bigger, so it hugs the nail. I wish I had one it's like 3 feet away, but I don't want to leave the screen. And it hugs the nail, so you literally just have to go like 1, 2, do, and you're done.
Right.
There's a question. Yes, Gianna says all women should have their nails done always. I agree with you, darling. So Stephanie Floor, hi Steph. She says, are nail presses still a thing? I think you mean press-ons. It was having a moment last year. Nail press-ons are having a huge moment right now.
I am guilty. I have a box. I haven't used it yet, but I want to try.
Yes.
Because I took off my acrylic on my nails, and I attempted to do what you said, like paint my nails, and I'm just not very good at that. So I'm like, let me try the press-on nails.
Yes. So I love press-ons because they're not your mama's press-ons. And I say that because, you know, I've been doing nails for 20 years plus. So I remember when they were like, you know, solid color, only one shape, like you had like sporty oval or whatever. But now they're like almond shape. They're stiletto. They have crystals on them. They're the coolest colors. And it's, you know, people like instant gratification. And if you can't get into the salon while you're home now, if you have press-ons or you can order them, Kiss has amazing press-ons that you can order.
What is one I bought? I bought a French manicure one. I'm going to try it, see how it works.
Try it, you know, and it's like they can last up to 2 weeks if you use the adhesive in the package, or some of them have double stick and they last like 3 or 4 days or whatever, or a day, depending on how you are with your hands. But it makes such a difference. Then you have the length and the strength at home, so that you have your nails now, and then when salons open, you can go back in and support them. But in the meantime, it's a really good thing to have. Okay. Yeah. Stephanie says she loves your clothes. it's her style as well. So yeah, Steph, I think that you should connect with Soneca, and it'd be really fun. So yeah, it's my best friend, so you guys connect. Hey Roz, thank you so much for joining. What other nail questions do you guys have? Put them in the comments.
Like we had touched upon, because obviously a lot of women, you know, when this all happened, you know, who do regularly get their nails done probably had a gel manicure or acrylic, like I myself. And like, what are the do's and don'ts of, like, you know, some people I know buying their chemicals and powders online. What are your thoughts on that?
I have a lot of thoughts about that. So, and it's funny that you bring this up, because I had a Zoom party on Sunday, and that question came up as well about doing your own nails at home when it comes to acrylic and gel and things like that. It's okay for you to do your own polish at home. Obviously, we've been doing that for years. But for us to be getting into doing, I don't even recommend doing gel polish at home. But especially, I do not recommend doing your own acrylic or your own dip products at home, because those chemicals, you have to know how to use them, and you have to know how to use them properly, because those are chemicals, you know. They have to be used in very specific ratios, because if you use too much of the liquid, which is a monomer, you use too much of the powder, which is a polymer, it can cure too fast. It can get all over your cuticles. If you get it on like your couch or whatever, you know, it's just, it sounds so like elementary, but if you don't know, if you're working with a chemical, say it louder, I will. If you're working, these are chemicals. I know everything is a chemical, right? Water is a chemical, like the air technically is a chemical, but like nail products are chemicals that should only be used by someone that is licensed. You should not be doing your own dip nails at home. You should not be doing your own acrylics at home. What is the best kind of manicure? I always get SNS, but I know a lot of nail techs do not agree with it because they claim it to be unsanitary. That's a great question. So Gianna asked that question about SNS, which is a brand of dip powders, and you're right.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I didn't realize it was a brand. I thought it was a total different way of doing nails.
Right, and that's the thing too, because a lot of people think that shellac is a type. Shellac is a brand. Shellac is not a type of gel. Shellac is a brand that's owned by C&D, which is gel polish. So anyways, but getting back to the SNS and the dip powder, you're right, because what happens is you have a pot that you're brushing on the adhesive, and then you're dipping in to build up the nail. So if you're dipping in the same pot, especially now, no one's going to do it because of COVID and things like that. Hi, Jazz. Now people are much more cautious of that, but when you're doing a dip nail, you are dipping them in a pot of product that other people maybe have dipped in with. Maybe their hands weren't the cleanest. Maybe they just were like eating something and then bacteria from that food started to grow, or like who knows what. So I do not like dip products for that reason, but also I just feel like I don't have the control over it, because you are brushing and dipping, and you can shape it, but you don't have the same control that you do over acrylic or hard gel, where you can really do a lot more with it. So, Gianna, to answer your question, and it's also really, really, really hard to get off, because it is acrylic and like a resin. So it's really hard to get off, which is not a good thing, because it can cause damage if it's not taken off properly. So there's exceptions to every rule, but I prefer to only do acrylic and gel.
Okay. All right. So good. I've been doing acrylic for the last 2 years, so thank God.
Yeah. And while we're on the acrylic subject really quick, a lot of people think that acrylic is, one, damaging, which is untrue, and two, that acrylic can only be thick, or it always looks thick or bulky or whatever. And I want to tell you guys something. My nails are acrylic. And they're super thin, and they even have, I mean, look, this is acrylic, and they don't break. So it's
right.
It's not, it's
no, when
myth.
they do it on me, it's super thin also, like really.
Yeah, you don't have to make them really thick. It's not a requirement.
Yeah, no, you definitely don't have to do it thick at all. Yeah.
Yeah. One of my, Roz says, a lot of people want her to do gel, but she keeps telling them she's not licensed. Good girl. Yes. You have to be licensed in order to do it, especially on other people. Unless it's like, don't do it. Only if you're licensed.
Yeah. Definitely.
What other questions do you have?
So Julie, since, we were touching upon like going through the closet, have you attempted doing any of that yourself?
Yes, actually, if this camera was pointed down right now, you would be horrified. Because I started putting things on Poshmark, but I have like a sheet down so I can photograph stuff, and I have props. I have piles of clothes and shoes that like I've photographed that I have to photograph, random like things. Yeah. I don't know. So I sold a few things, but I just like I was telling my friend Chastity, who's watching, like, I love to donate stuff. I really do. And I've donated so many things, but doing some research about that, I'm not quite sure where, if I take it to like a women's shelter, I know that it's going there, but like right now during quarantine, and I put it like in a bin, I don't know where it's going to go. I've read stories that, it could end up in a landfill. Like they go through, like some people go through it and they keep like 5% of things, then the rest, like, I don't know. I'd rather put it on Poshmark for someone else to love and give it longer life. Yeah. So, hi, Roy.
I think Poshmark is great. And I think more and more people are going to be doing that because, again, especially there are people that have lost their jobs, or if they are still working, the uncertainty of, are they going to still be working? So, they don't want to spend their paycheck on buying things. And I know it's so easy. Like you see all these influencers with all these great outfits and, $17.99, but that's really not doing our earth a great service by buying that. You're probably better off reusing, try to find something a little better quality on Poshmark. And I mean, I've sold some things myself, and people will like say you have a price on it, and somebody might say, well, will you take X amount of dollars? And, and then you can choose whether or not you want to sell it. So I really think it's a win-win situation. It does take up time, but guess what? Once you've done it, once you've taken all those pictures and put it up, like, it's so easy.
It's so easy. And they send you, and this is not sponsored by Poshmark, by the way, at all, but, and they email you a prepaid label, and you get the free boxes at the post office. So you don't have to buy boxes, and you don't have to worry about like, how much will shipping be, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's basically a flat price, and you just drop it off with the mail. You can have someone come pick it up. It's really easy. So I think it's a win-win.
I think so. I think it's definitely, I think more and more people are going to start doing it. And who knows, I think we might start seeing other companies starting to do something like that as well. I mean, What was definitely interesting, I noticed, obviously it's a pause, but, we all know like the Runways that's been around for about 10 years now. But now a lot of Bloomingdale's was doing something along the lines. Lord & Taylor is, I think DVF is doing something like that as well.
Yeah.
So where you can, for a monthly fee, get so many outfits, wear them and return them and just keep recycling. Yeah,
I've done that a few times too, and I liked that as well. Of course, not right now because I'm sitting home. We're all sitting home.
And that's why, it's really bad because obviously those people aren't making any money because no one's renting clothes.
I know. I'm like, I'm sorry, I have to cancel this, but
and I mean, it is so tempting. There are so many sales out there. And I mean, I'm actually a stylist. I've been approached by Moda Operandi. Are you familiar with
Yeah.
Moda Operandi? Yeah. So I was like super excited that they approached me. I'm part of their network. As far as I have some perks when I'm working with my private clients. I can get, if they have an event that they're going to, we don't have to pay for like say 5 dresses. We can get them all on consignment, and then we only pay for the one, which is great, because how many times do you buy it? You have to pay for everything, and then
hope that they take it back when you return it.
Right, exactly. So I'm really excited that I'm part of this network, and hopefully once all this dies down, it'll really pick up. But they are offering an amazing, 30% off of like 90% of their website is on sale. So you can get major discount on designer, like now. It's not even on sale, like retail price.
Wow. I want to be a stylist. No, I'd spend all my money.
And well, that's the thing, Moda is not inexpensive. It's definitely on the higher end. It's kind of like your Net-a-Porter, if you're familiar with that. They house all these amazing designers. So, but what I like about the Moda is that you can literally see something coming right off the runway in Paris, and they can possibly get you that same exact couture outfit, which is crazy.
Yeah.
To think that you can do. Yeah.
So fast. I love that. I love the world being connected and, all that. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's good.
Mm-hmm. So where do you think, I guess maybe we can kind of end it or, put it all together. Like, where do you feel like once we get off of all this, how do you think the nail industry is going to change for you?
Personally, I don't know how it's going to change for me, myself, because I'm on set and I also teach nails all around the world, especially at hotels and resorts. So everything that I do right now has been affected. So, with that being said, I'm kind of just taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, one moment at a time. And I think that the whole beauty industry is all going to do a shift. But to jump into something else really quick, I have a new product that's coming out next month. So that's actually what I've been working on most of quarantine is a product launch in the nail space, obviously, which I'm really, really excited about. And it's not only for nail professionals, it is for the consumer that loves nail art as well. So I'll be shifting to focus on that for a little bit. But I don't know. I really, 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 yes, a new product, girl. You are going to love it. I can't wait. So I'm like, it's crazy how it's so funny to see the progress of making a product and how it starts from, how it starts from a need to an idea to a prototype to round 1, round 2, and then all the steps. It's crazy to see. But anyways, that'll be kind of my focus for the next, it'll come out in May, and then that'll be my focus for a little while, because I don't know, when I'm on set, if they have a law, if New York passes a law, no more than 10 people on set, you have at least one photo assistant, hair, makeup, and at least one stylist, editor, at least one model. Are they going to allow? I don't know. So that could change. Obviously, I won't be teaching at any hotels or resorts for quite a while. So I'm just going to be focusing on looking past that into 2021 so that I can get into the hotels and teach, post-COVID educational things like that, how we handle it, sanitation things. Salons are going to be changing a lot.
Yeah, I think everybody, all the industries are going to be changing. Like we touched upon really quickly in the beginning, fashion's going to be changing. And how we purchase and how we consume and how things are being made.
Yeah.
So So there might be more of a reason for people wanting to as well having a stylist, because let's utilize with what you have in your closet, because so many people that I work with, I mean, listen, I'm ready to spend your money if you want me to spend your money, but like, let's start in your closet. Like, people don't realize like all the great things I can find. They're like, oh, really? You would have put those shoes with this, skirt? And I'm like, yes. Like, do you know what I mean? And then maybe all we have to do is buy like a simple accessory to tie it all in and make it a little bit more current. But I think we need to shop in our closet. And then as you're going through and things that you're not, that you definitely know that you don't want, and you just don't want to give it away, put it on one of these sites like Tradesy, Poshmark, if you have really high-end things, like maybe something like the Real. But I think we need to start being a little bit more sustainable and using what we have.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, and I'm so glad that you brought that up, because, and I'm guilty of it as well. I'm like, I have nothing to wear, and then I look, and I'm like, I have so much stuff, I just don't know how to put it together. So people hiring stylists like you to put together, like, and you can even take photos, like, okay, here's, this is what I recommend.
Yeah, and that's what I'll do sometimes. I'll make, with my cell phone, I'll take different photos of different, and it's great. And I present it to them so that they can go back and be like, okay, wait, she told me I can wear this shirt. But I forgot, you know what I mean? So it's nice to have that reference. Okay, I can wear this with that, and make it a no-brainer, make it easy. Because I mean, if you think about it, somebody like Steve Jobs, some of the very high, successful, genius people, they want to keep their wardrobe to a minimum.
Yeah.
The last thing you worry about is like, okay, what am I going to wear? It could be very stressful. I know people, it can be very, very hard, you know what I mean, for them to just get their outfits together. So I think, seeing what you have, learning what you have, let's keep it minimal, things you love to wear, and mix it up with accessories.
It's one less thing to worry about. It's one less thing to stress about. It's just, So you guys reach out to Soneca what areas are you?
I'm in northern New Jersey. So I'm technically, like, without traffic, maybe 30, 35 minutes outside of New York City, in the suburbs of New Jersey. But I do virtual styling as well. So doesn't matter where you live. I can work with you on that end as well.
Yeah, you hear that, you guys? So you don't have to be in New York or New Jersey. You can reach out and do a styling appointment. And there was one last comment from Roz, I think, about having making nail tips and sending them to set. I have a lot of feelings about that, because I know I have a drawer. Not all nail tips fit all people. It's really, truly a custom procedure. I bring like 4 or 5 boxes before I do them on someone, so they can try that. But it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope, because then what if one of them pops off, and someone else puts it on crooked, and then you have to Photoshop it? I don't know. I think that's a risky. We shall see. So.
Right.
Anyways, nails.
And people want to find you. Your Instagram.
Yep, Julie K Nails NYC. Yep.
So, and, I'm hoping that we can eventually get out and feel safe.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I think part of our wardrobe will be the mask.
I know. I'm like, what should I? Because I have all these dust bags from stuff, and I'm like, is it too much to have like a Louis Vuitton like dust bag mask? I don't know. I see people making those.
Go for it, absolutely.
And like rhinestone ones and all sorts of stuff. So we'll see.
That will probably be how we express ourselves during this whole COVID situation.
Yeah,
definitely.
So,
well, this was so much fun. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Who knows? Maybe we'll work on set again eventually.
I know. We'll do it. We gotta you know, manifest all good stuff.
Yes, manifest. Put it out there.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody who joined us. And hopefully I'll try to do more of these.
Yes, we'll do more. And everyone, thank you again for joining. I hope everyone is healthy and well.
And join and follow Julie if you're not. She's great.
Thank you. Follow both of us. Greetings from Ireland. Thank you so much for joining all the way from Ireland. Yes. I hope you guys are well and healthy. It's probably quite late there. Yeah, I guess that's all. I think I'm gonna go put some more. I'm gonna
go over here. It's time for a cocktail. I don't know about you, Julie, but I might go downstairs and make myself something.
You should. I think I might. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll do the same. All right. Thanks for joining, you guys. Bye. Follow both of us. And DM if you have more questions, either of us. Okay?
Definitely. We would love it. Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.